through finishing up with the police over here. That guy that was like making threatening accusations as he drove by, went by, pulled right in front of me doing it. And so I immediately got the police out there, and the police, a lot of them showed up, and they went over there. They basically told me they're just working. There's nothing we can do about it. I said, you know what? I said, I had the video. I could have showed you where the guy was falling out. And then I pointed at the guy that had the baggie full of drugs. I said, what would you have done if you would have seen a plastic baggie full of drugs pulled out? What would you have done? He goes, well, I would have immediately done something. I said, so I seen it. And I called you guys. And when you show up because you didn't see it, I said, this is the reason why this country is the way it is. Because when people do speak up against it, you do nothing about it. And that's why people feel, what's the point? What's the point? Well, I was sure to let that officer know, how I seen Israel get attacked a few months before. I told him how I seen America is going to fall. I showed him where America is in the Bible, and he didn't want to hear it. Didn't want to hear it. I said, do you know the Bible? He goes, a little bit. I said, well, you ain't going to learn nothing in a church. And I said, the friendship of this world, everybody's the enemy of God. And I said, this nation's done, and it's about to get real bad real quick here. But, at best, they'll show up. But do anything? No, they ain't going to do nothing. They ain't going to do nothing. So, from my experience, because this is the second time here in La Follette, from my experience, when you see these people, whatever they're doing, drugs, falling out, there's no point in even getting involved, saying anything. Because even like this guy coming by threatening today, looking, and he goes, did you hear anything? He had his window up. I had my window up. All I had was his face in my face as he was driving by. And he drove by real slowly, like he was cursing and stuff. And I said, that's the reason why I called. And I said, if they did nothing wrong yesterday, why would he even bother making a performance in front of me? The guy's face was like blood red. And anyhow, as I was leaving, I drove by real slow, looking at them, not making any threatening accusations. I drove by real slow, looking at him, that guy, and he looked away from me. These people, like I said, animals. They're animals. And so there they were again today, the second day. I've been going there for quite a while. I've never seen them till yesterday. But they definitely know, coming around me, I'll definitely call the police on them. Even though the police don't seem to be able to do much about it. And I told them, I said, you guys are in a lot of trouble here, man. Because when people do call you, you do nothing. And I said, pretty soon, now you guys are going to be overwhelmed with the wicked and the evil in this world. I said, the laws you guys stand up and uphold is of the world. You don't stand for what's right. And basically, they don't even know it, but that's what they are. They're the servants. They're servants to the beast. Servants to the beast. But yeah, that guy is definitely into the drugs. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, if he wasn't, he would have went about his business today, not even looked at me. And they tried to intimidate people. I'm not intimidated by them. Why? Because I know the Lord, the Most High, is coming down against them right now. I know their time is up. I know they're all children of the devil. I know they're soon going to be in hell. So what's there to be intimidated by? Nothing. Yeah, it's not hard to see who they are. You know, it's like it says, you'll know them, the tree by the fruit, just by what they're doing. Anyhow, there's 2 reports that I've called in on. Oh. $9.18. That's what they are. They're just got nothing but drug issues and problems. It's going to be real bad for them real soon, and they don't even know it. They're about to have bigger problems than drugs. They won't be able to find or get drugs. Money will be worthless. You know, even them flooding our economy with drugs and making it a real big problem, that's another reason why they'll say their solution is to digital ID. Their solution is going to be the mark of the beast. You know, they create the problem, flood it. And these are devils, you know, the beast of the earth. They're devils that are at work doing it. And then you got these people, the police, they help them do it. By what? By doing nothing. Yeah, but that's going to be their solution to the problem, is the mark of the beast for everything. This is where we're all going to be separated, you guys. Pretty wild, man, when you see what they're doing and how they're doing it. It's not hard to see it when you're walking in the Spirit. You can see how they did it. They created the problem. Even the massive drugs, you know. and where these people are doing it, and their lives are, they don't even have a life. They're dead, and they're wicked, and they don't care about nothing but making money, even if it's to destroy other people's lives by selling them these drugs. Yeah, Campbell County, man, it's known for a real drug problem, but it's not just Campbell, it's everywhere. There's another town up here where they're called the Red Devils. That town has been run into the dirt by drugs. You drive in there, the only new nice looking building, it's a pharmacy store where they legal drug dealers. And almost everybody is on some sort of drugs. Why? Because of all the stuff they're doing to corrupt our bodies. While they tell you people are living longer. This place is full of lies. And it's extremely wicked. You know, and the police, they think they're doing, they have no idea what's about to happen to them. None. And if we're right about this, it's any day now. You know, there's only 3 months left of this year. So between now and that time, 25. I've been shown 25. And you look at everything that Trump is doing. In just 9 months. Look at what he's done in 9 months. Not just here, but the whole world. They're all in on it together. The governments are one purse. That's why it doesn't matter to them. Because they've always been on the top. They'll always be among the wealthy. And people like I just experienced today and yesterday, they're going to always be a big part of the problem. They're going to be the biggest part of the problem because they're barely living it all right now. Wait until there's no money to be made. And their drugs, if they don't die, they're not going to wait till you see what they become, just trying to survive. And I've always known this too. No matter how bad a person thinks he is, there's always going to be another one that'll come along and kill you. That'll be worse, always. No matter who they are. That's why I'm saying you're going to be seeing it. We have angels around us, and we're going to see it all unfolding. I've been knowing what it's going to do for a long time. I'm going to be here, get the car washed, and then pick up a few commodities and head back to the cabin. not much to be outside for here. Because, there isn't. There's nothing. It's exceedingly wicked. People doing whatever they're doing, they don't care, man. They just, what they're looking at is making their money, and they can care less about the person under them. That they're on drugs, gonna go to hell. They can care less. When you look at the giants of the earth, I think a lot of that is the spirit that's in people, what they're doing. Even how women, luring people. That's why it says if you even look in lust after a woman. And that's what a lot of those cities did. And taking on 2 wives, and increasing, multiplying even more. That's why they had multiple wives, to increase more. I mean, look at this stuff, And people here, they don't even know the difference. They don't even know the difference. I'm over there, that cop's talking to me at the end, basically saying he can't do nothing. And I told him, I said, you know what? If you would have seen what I seen, then he told me then he could have done something. But because I seen it, it's just hearsay. I know, I'm looking at this stuff. I didn't even bother telling that police officer, look at that. Do you see that? Do you know what that is? I didn't even bother to tell him. Why? Because I knew he was blind. It's like getting your car washed here while they're mowing the lawn. It's like, I hope I can get out of here before they blow grass on it. Totally wicked, man. It's just amazing, when you see all this stuff. When you see it going on like that. I don't know what that guy thought he was going to do, looking at me like cursing and cussing at me and all that. Like what? What? I'm not going to call the police? Of course I'm going to call the police. If you even look violently towards me, I'm going to call the police. And then as I was leaving, the guy was looking, but he looked away. In other words, they probably told him, don't even look at him. Don't even look at him. They can get in trouble. And I've already made a few reports about him, so. It's crazy, man. I actually seen the drugs in a bag, a white plastic. Then the cops going, well, it could have been a white, large plastic bag. It could have been. I said, you know what? You sound like you're on their defense. Like I don't know what I'm seeing, what I'm talking about. I said, this is why most people do not get involved, because of everything that you guys have done. Good morning, Mary. Because of everything that they have been doing, and they encouraged where the darkness was coming out into the light, doing what they do, and you could see it happening in plain sight everywhere, And the churches, well, they're still one day a week telling you how blessed they are in America, and more of it, and it's really quite insane. When your eyes get opened up to what's really going on. All right, you guys, I'm gonna get off of here. It's getting pretty noisy, and stay strong in the Lord. We don't have much more time, and the police, they uphold the laws of man. They don't. If there was anything in them that had the love of the God of heaven in them, they would be sickened by what you're seeing. They'd be sickened, but they're not. And that's because they're of this world. We're very few, you guys. The whole law system is going to be coming against those the love of Christ. The whole law system, the police, your flags, all that, they're going to be coming against those who love Christ. You can be sure of it. So if you have pride in this place, you ain't going to like what you're going to see coming. God bless each and every one of you. In the name of our Lord, Jesus Christ.